The seventh point. Do you have a confidential relationship with some other person? Every human being needs someone to whom he can talk his heart out to, honestly, freely, without being double-crossed. Some people need someone so badly they even get married to get it. And that's the one they start to lie to. Isn't that irony? Haven't you ever gone on a train out of town where a stranger will sit next to you and soon tell you things he wouldn't dare tell his best friend? That's because he knows you'll never see him again. You can't double-cross him, and he feels better. On the New York-Chicago train, a big burly Irishman sat down next to a little man. He said, "What kind of work do you do, sir?" "Here's what work I do. I'm in clocks and suits 30 years. A big firm in New York. The firm name is Goldberg and O'Brien. You ever heard from it?" Says Goldberg and O'Brien, working together in harmony. Ah, that's the American way. What a surprise. What a surprise. They got a bigger surprise for you. I'm O'Brien. Which leads me to the eighth point. Do you have a sense of the ridiculous? Can you laugh loud and long at what the world does to you? Most of all, can you laugh at yourself? Can you look in the mirror and say, "Oh, what a little show-off I am, but I'm cute"? Laughter is the sunshine of the soul. Do you know what I think of as I stand here and look at you? I look to see who laughs and who doesn't. I think this one needs treatment badly, this one doesn't. Oh, don't worry, I picked out a few good cases here tonight, too. Mostly in this section right in there. Now, I hope that you never get so tired, so old, so hardened in the arteries, so prissy, so self-important, that you forget how to laugh easily and quickly, because at that moment, whether you know it or not, you're dead. You know, whenever I get to feel just a little too important, I can't help thinking of a patient who stands on a ward in a mental hospital, very grand. The psychiatrist walked by one day and said, "Who do you think you are?" "I, sir, am Napoleon." "Really? Who told you you were Napoleon?" "God told me." When a voice came from the next bed, "I did not!" You see, there's always someone who feels more important. By the way, do you know that while you laugh, you can't get ulcers? Of course, some of you are here too late. That's the trouble. Well, I'm going to give you a little hint that you can walk out the doors with that will prevent ulcers, give you a happier marriage, and you'll also live longer. What a hint this is. I almost feel like God when I give it. I need treatment, too. I did my internship at Bellevue Hospital, a very famous hospital. One day while I was walking through the wards, one of the patients, a woman, rushed up to me. Said, "You know, we like you better than the other doctors." I said, "Really? Why?" She said, "You're more like one of us." Well, I see that you agree, too. Here's the hint. This hint happens to be the most important chemical law in the universe. And I am ashamed to tell you that I do not know of one single school, medical school, college, liberal arts college, any school in America that teaches it. Nonetheless, it is still the most important chemical law in the universe. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is it. Did you know that the human body, your body, can never sprout an ulcer or be angry and laugh at the same time? It is chemically, physically, mechanically impossible. As if God has said, "To ye who laugh, no ulcers, no anger." You don't realize what a hint you've just received. If your husband or your wife is angry with you and you want to snap them out of it quickly, it's so easy. Perform a little chemical experiment. Make them laugh. Do this. Or put your hands up to your nose, anything you like. Of course, don't throw him down the steps where he breaks a leg and then you do this. You've got to use good taste. Of all the things we ever learn, the most important one is how to laugh, which is learned. I can't help thinking, too, of a teacher in an elementary school in Brooklyn, the 6th grade. Biggest sourpuss you ever saw. She was writing on the board one day. She happened to raise up very high, and one of her garters showed. A little boy in the back went, "Ha ha!" He was one of the more intelligent. The teacher said, "And what are you laughing at?" He says, "Teacher, I just saw your garter. Get your books and leave this room at once. And don't you come back to this class for 2 days." She went back to write on the board again. Another little boy in the back went, She said, "And what are you laughing at?" He says, "Teacher, I just saw both garters." "Well, you just take your books, leave this room immediately, and don't you come back to this class for 3 weeks. She went back, she dropped the eraser. She bent over to pick up the eraser. A little boy in the back jumped up and started to run out. He said, "Just a moment. Where do you think you're going?" He said, "Teacher, I see where my school days are over." Now, he was better adjusted than the teacher.